And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at a small expansion, Public Services. This is an expansion for the game Quadropolis, which is a game that I really enjoy, a city building game from Days of Wonder. So this is kind of a really small expansion, adds 24 public service building tiles, 4 helpers, a few more pieces, and a little tiny rule book. That's it. Let's take a look. So adding these to the game is really simple. Each player has not every player, but you're going to use a stack of Expert or you're going to use a stack of Classic, depending on what version of the game you're going to be playing. You're going to take 4 of these tiles each round and putting it next to the board. And whenever a player plays a tile in such a way that they take one of the public works that are already out there, you can either discard one of these tiles and add this to your thing, or you can discard the tile that you just took and take one of these public works ones next to the board. At the end of the round, any of these that aren't taken are discarded, and then you put out 4 new ones, and if you need more, you just shuffle the discarded ones and put them out. And that's it. Okay, so let's take a look at these buildings here. First of all, the City Hall gives you 1 point for every public service building, including itself, so that's at least 1 point, so that's worth it. And by the way, I'm showing you, this is the Classic game pile, and this is the Expert game pile. This one here, you get 3 points if you have a whole row of harbors. This one gives you 5 points. This is great. You get this, your row of harbors is even more interesting to take a look at. Then we have the city planning boards. Here you get 1 point for if you fill up a whole district, and then 1 point if you fill up your whole board. That gives you a reason to fill up the whole board, as if you needed a reason already. These just give you energy units, 2 or 3 in the Expert game. These give you people, the maternity ward, 2 or 3. I like this. It's always in a Vasel game, of course. Fire station here gets 2 points for each factory that's next to it. In the Expert game, 3 points. We have the police station, 1 point for every tower block, each floor of the highest tower in your building. So you build a nice high tower, this could be worth 4 points. Then we have the park district. This gives you 1 point for every park. This one has room for 2 more people in the Expert game. Then the school, you get 1 point for each tower block in your city. It doesn't matter how many floors it has, so build more towers with these. This one here gives you a point for every 2 energy units that you put on this building. This is the reprocessing plant. This one gives you a point for every energy in the Expert game. Very intriguing card. And then we have the TV station, and you get an inhabitant. This gives you, at the end of the game, 1 inhabitant for every shop in your city, and then you can immediately put those guys out before scoring. So this can get you a pile of inhabitants if you have several shops. The Expert game also has 2 other blocks in the game here. We have the Capitol, which is essentially a public service and a monument, which is pretty neat because it scores a lot of points. And then we have the Congress Center, which is a public service and an office tower. So this is kind of these are neat things that basically act as double tiles. So this is pretty simple, really, right? This is the rule book. The rule book is mostly just explaining what all the tiles do. And other than the Capitol and Congress Center, most of them are very self-explanatory. And the Capitol and Congress Center are only in the advanced game. It's a really easy expansion to add. You get a public service, you look on the side. Now this is going to make public service even more tempting to take. I already liked having them anyway. Maybe some people thought they were the most boring buildings, but they do give you kind of like, ooh, I got a fire station in my city now. I got a police station. I don't know. That sort of thing is fun. When I played SimCity back in the day, I always liked having these different service buildings, schools, and things like that. So thematically, I like it. But it's also just nice. It just adds more variety without adding hardly any complexity. I mean, this is so simple that you can teach this to new people who've never played the game before. So that's all pretty easy going. I do wonder if the only problem I would have with the game really is that it's hard to store. The original game has an insert that is so well done that there's no room for extra tiles. I did manage to fit them in on top of the people. I don't know if I can show this to you here, but here's the box, and underneath the scoring pad is where I put all the extra tiles. Now, I mean, if they have any more tiles, I'm going to have to ditch this really nice insert. It's really nice. But they do fit in, barely, by the skin of their teeth. But I like this game. Public Services is not a game changer. It's a solid little expansion that adds some more stuff. You don't need it to play the game.
You may not even be looking for it, but if you want a little bit more variety and you like that little bit of extra theming to have some cool buildings in your city that no one else does, then I think you will enjoy this. I mean, like I said, I'm always going to play with it, always going to teach it to new people. What does it matter? A lot of fun. Quadropolis, public services. Get those schools built.
Dice Tower Judgment approved.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.
There.